All right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, firstly, welcome to All Over Bar the Cricket. We love having your company wherever you listen or watch, of course, on YouTube, subscribe, Instagram, all the rest of it. We've got Matthew Hayden, the superstar, the Queensland local, the big man. He's there. We've got a dinged-up Greg Blewett. He's down in Adelaide, but we can't even bother to speak to those two gentlemen because Bluey and Doss, we have got the most special of guests today, and he's on the clock, so we're going to hurry up and get to him. Travis Head, welcome to All Over Bar the Cricket.
Boys, thanks for having me.
Now, mate, we're just going to jump in because I know you've got a meeting and you've given us so generously a good amount of your time. I want to tick a few things off out of Perth because that was some of the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. Did you put the myth to bed? Did you put your hand up after Usman's back collapsed on him and say, I want to open? Did someone come and ask you? Tell us exactly how that happened.
I threw my name in. I think that we might have got him 7 down at the stage, and sort of the feedback coming back from was trying to get as much info as we can was that he wasn't going to come back out, so we had to try and find an opener. And pretty open in the last couple of weeks. It's been an ongoing conversation for a couple of years now about since Davey had sort of gone out of the team, and I'd always throw my name in when Steve had done it, when other guys had opportunities. I was like, I can always have a stab at it and have a crack and feel like my game's in good order. And just perfect worlds collided, and I think it was a great opportunity chasing a score. I thought it was a positive, aggressive approach to go out there, and nothing ever was guaranteed. I could have gone out and nicked the first one, but I thought it was nice that Ron and Smithy gave me the backing to go out there and try to play well, and it worked well.
All right, it snuck out of the dressing room to me anyway that you're putting your gear on and you turned to whoever was sitting next to you and uttered the sentence, "It can't be that hard, can it?" Is that what you said?
Well, there's a bit to unpack there because I don't know, Weathers was waiting a fair bit of time for me. He went for a hit. There's a little indoor net just next to the entrance at Optus Stadium, and I thought we'd come off for tea at the right time, that 20-minute break, so 20 past 3 or whatever time we go out, that was the clock. So I was sort of clock watching and sort of just talking in the sheds, not expecting Weathers to come back, but I knew that Weathers had gone for a hit. So and I think I was talking to Bo Webster, and he looked at the screen. He's like, England are out there. And I was like, I looked at it, and it was actually 16 past that went out, not 20 past. So I was like, I need to get my gloves on here. And then I said, that can't be that hard. And I was going to get after him. All right, boys, I'll see you in 5 minutes. And then I strolled out there, and Weathers was waiting for me. England were in position, and which made for a better look when Weathers was waiting for me. No one knew who was going to open, and I come standing up the race, which was good fun.
Is there any truth that you also said, righto, boys, book the Cottesloe tomorrow at about 1 p.m.? Any truth in that?
No. But when we were getting close to finishing, I thought Mitch might take me over to Rottnest on the boat the next day, but I got an early flight home to see the family. So, but I thought, I looked at it and going, shit, we might get home tonight, and Mitch might be able to take me out on his boat tomorrow morning, but not to be. Next time.
Hey, Heady, there was a stat going around that this was the fastest average bowling speed of a test match side in the first innings. Some crazy number, even including the West Indies. But in the second innings, would it be fair to say that airspeed was down pretty much across the board? Did you sense or feel that?
Certainly not feeling it at the other end. Doesn't take, I guess, numbers. It feels, obviously, I think they might have been low 140s instead of high 140s at like the first innings, but couldn't really sense it at the time. Obviously, they were pretty bowling their plans, and it was pretty intimidating no matter what speed you're facing. But the funny story about that is Brendan Doggett. I forgot that we batted in the morning. That's how crazy the day was. I come off, and then Brendan Doggett was like, "Don't worry, mate, I'll take the steam out of them this morning. It's all good." Because I forgot that like Woody and that had bowled spells in the morning and then had to come back again. So, look, crazy. There's not much turnaround. Bowling second innings, I'm not sure what our ball speeds were like for our guys first innings and second innings, and having not been a bowler, but bloody hard to get yourself up for day one and then for it to spin around like that on day two. Like I went to bed absolutely exhausted on day one night. The emotion of it all. So yeah, to jam that all into 2 days may have had some impact, but I certainly didn't feel it out in the middle. I felt like they were quite aggressive throughout the whole game.
Hey, Heady, I thought your first 20, 30 balls were elite. And I think everyone looking back at that innings now, thinks about all the shots that you played and how many runs you got your 100 off. But you were very conservative in your first 20, 30 deliveries. You looked very composed as well. Now, want to ask you whether that was the deliberate ploy against the new ball, because normally when you come out at 5, you just come out and if it's there, it's there. But you did seem like you just put those shots away a little bit. I don't know whether that was on purpose, but what was your mindset going into the innings?
Yeah, mindset was just really around setting a platform, I guess, and I always try and go about the same way. If there's a ball there for offer and there's runs to be scored, score them. And I thought they bowled really, really well with the new ball. Joff and Gus are exceptionally good bowlers, highly skilled. It's the first time I'd faced Atkinson, so like the first innings he bowled more of a scramble wobble seam that nipped around a fair bit. So I thought round the wicket he's going to take my stumps. Jofra swung one back down the line to Weathers in the first inning, so I was conscious of that. Yeah, I was really pleased with my first 30 balls. When we talk about blueprint and talk about over the 2 years about opening the batting and what that may look like and whether I can do it in Australia, I know I've done it subcontinent and sort of got going and got the innings going, but sort of work through the exact gears that we've talked about. First 30, 40 balls, if I can get myself in, get going, yeah, be positive and still play a positive brand. And then if they were to go short pitch bowling and I feel like I'm set and in and I feel like there's an opportunity to take the game, then go. And it's sort of not always going to work like that. But like you said, the blueprint around my first 30 balls, I was really pleased with the way I was able to play.
And I think, Heady, the impact an innings like you playing had really good sort of vibes on the boys at the other end. I thought Jake was able to really settle down and show that he's comfortable at the level. And then Marnus, who has had a big journey to get back into this Australian side, was able to make a really good 50. I know you're probably too humble to acknowledge that, but we've all been down the other end of a firestorm, and, geez, it makes the non-strikers end so much easier.
Yeah, I've played a lot of cricket with Jake, so yeah, I was keen, obviously, and that's in the decision making as well. Like my obviously desire to do it at the time was, one, I felt like there was an opportunity to win a game of cricket for Australia. Two, I thought it was a really positive approach to go out there and start well, and three, to help a mate at the other end. I played a lot of shield cricket with, who missed out in the first innings, and we didn't even talk about it much. We just went out there and it just felt like we're back playing for South Australia like we played for so many years, and then. Yeah, on Marnus's point, every time I bat with Marnus, I think a little bit of energy works off on him, and he's super, I guess, energetic and just like he's cat on a hot tin roof, but it gets him going a little bit. And we've had some really, really good partnerships where he's been really proactive and played really well and got off strike and feels like he sort of, at those times, he talks about giving me strike. And it's not something that we talk about, but I think we bat really, really well together. So, love when Martin's proactive. We've talked about a lot over the last 2 years about when he's looking to score, and the partnership dovetailed really, really well, which it has when we've played really well together. So yeah, it all worked on that day, and then now we've got to do 4 more tests. So look forward to that challenge.
Heady, after the test match, everyone was talking about where does this rank in terms of overall test match hundreds for the Ashes. What's your take on it? I mean, you bat like most of the time. You're late for a dinner party, and you've had some pretty key moments. World Test Championship, where we watched you just hammer away India. Obviously the final in the World Cup. Where does this one sort of place in the Travis Head files?
Again, this is all up there. I can't really comment on it. I think guys, the viewer can have that opinion. I joked with the boys and said it's in my top 5. A few boys said, I think that's your best ever. And I sort of joked and said, top 5. It's not too bad. Mix it in with some of the others. But yeah, I found myself in some really great moments, which is quite cool. I guess, but my mind's heavily set on, and you guys would know, obviously, in big series and big games and in season and trying to play well. And my mind's just on Brisbane now, like it has been since the finish of it. And hopefully in 5 more weeks, we can look back and I can have a beer or two and go like, wow, that was amazing. That got us to kickstart. That was something that was really, really special. I don't think I'll look back at it and realize it until the end of the series. And my mind's heavily set on what the next 4 tests looks like. But there's no doubt there's a part of me when I'm old and grey and Harry and Miller are running amok on Christmas Day or Boxing Day and the cricket's on, that I won't be reminding him. So I look forward to that.
Yeah. I've got to say, Heady, I've been, obviously a part of cricket for a long time. I've seen some great games around the world and other sports as well. And I've got to say, when you were walking off to that standing ovation, that's one of the great sporting things I've seen in my life. Were you able to, did you get to any stage of your innings and just before you go out or 20 minutes before you get going, shit, this is actually pretty cool. I'm going to enjoy this.
Yeah, I always when I go out to bat, I try and take in everything as much as I can. I'm not going to get to do this for the rest of my life. And moments like, I guess, coming out the weathers and the anticipation and going out to bat, and sort of I come out the race and the crowds are up and about, and I guess feeling like I might get on a roll, or I don't know what the crowd are feeling, but I felt like that energy going out to bat at the start of meetings. And there's moments I take in when I walk out of bat, where I take the crowd in, whether that be Adelaide Oval, obviously a home test match, when the crowd get excited when I come out to bat, and I'm very well supported in Adelaide. And throughout my innings when I'm at the non-strikers, I do try and take it all in, because when you're batting and you focus so hardly on the ball and your plans and everything, and all you're worrying about is batting at the other end. When I'm at the non-strikers, I do try and take it all in. I try and take a moment back, and it relaxes me. And I think it's hard not to. There's 60,000 fans, and I think it brings you back to that moment. So yeah, there was times where I felt it, and I'm never good at getting a not out. So I did it in the World Cup as well, and a few other games. So I've thrown away with 10 to win a few times. But yeah, a nice moment to walk off, and it was truly ridiculous at the stage where we're at.
I'm old school, Heady. I used to love watching Greg Chappell when he brought up his 100 and just used to take his cap off and hold the bat up and didn't jump around in the air and carry on like a dingbat, which seems to be the way that the young players like to do it. But you were so quiet when you brought up your 100. You basically just turned around and it looked like you were almost shocked at what had happened and what you'd done. There was a look on your face that was almost like, wow. Take us through that exact moment.
I wasn't even taking my lid off, but that's a little bit like Dan Vittori, sort of the same as you, saying like all these blokes, like we had this conversation, you either go one way, and like I put my lid on my bat a few times, and that drawn back to that conversation having a beer in India a couple of years ago, where it was like you either go one way, you either carry on full end of the spectrum, or you go real relaxed and don't take your lid off. And I wasn't going to until Marnus was like, you got to get your hair cut out, because I'd had a stinker at the start of the week. And I know the boys are into me. But I was, and I truly, I know it's the start of the series. Like, it's the first test. I know I was pretty animated the first time round in Brisbane because I just got my spot back and I was pretty pumped up. But, I think, obviously, you look down the track of 4 or 5 years now, and all I wanted to do is achieve is 5 tests. It's not one. So it's probably a little bit of that going, okay, I've had a day out, but let's not get too carried away. There's 4 more tests to go. And, yes, we've had a really great day, but if you're 4 hours earlier, we were pushing shit uphill, to be fair. They were driving the game. So it was probably a little bit of that going, okay, respect to that played pretty well. We've probably got one over here where we probably shouldn't have, or we were pushing it a fair bit. So there was a range of emotions going through me that were like, okay, just take it all in and just, all right, let's get the job done and let's get off and let's get to next week.
Take us into the rooms afterwards. We always love this. When you win any game of cricket, everyone knows how much you love it. But when you sneak a test match inside 2 days, and as you say, halfway through day 2, it was really starting to look like the game was going the wrong way. It must have been, well, let me add another layer to that. And you've got 3 spare days. Yeah, that night must have been one of the all-timers.
It was actually pretty chilled. You'll be surprised. I think everyone's got their mind on what's to come. But, yeah, we had a really good night in the sheds and then back at the hotel. And a few might have ventured down and played the tables for a little bit together. And we were lucky enough to be sailing the Crown Towers. I got back at a respectable hour, which you not respectable for what had happened on that day. And I just couldn't sleep. I sat in my room and just looked at the ceiling. I was just like, I think I got to bed at about, I don't know, 6:45 in the morning by the time I got to sleep. And I had the first flight out. So I got about 20 minutes and got on the flight. And the striker girls, the Adelaide girls, had played in Perth that night. And they see me next morning, and I bumped in. I was so tired. I think we had a great night and that. And I'd calmed down on the cold ones at one stage. So I was just like, I'll look after myself, and look, I got an early morning, and then I just couldn't sleep. So it was a long night, but I think everyone's mind a little bit on the job. So it wasn't as probably good as it will be in a few weeks' time if we're able to get the job done. But it was a nice moment to go, okay, we've got the first one. We feel like we're in the game here, and let's keep pushing.
There was one shot in particular, Heady, and Haydos is he mentioned it as well. The one that you sort of, I don't know whether you backed away or not, but you went back on your stumps and hit Jofra Archer over mid-on for 6, right? And you mentioned that it's a long series. very conscious at that stage not to get too carried away and get over the top with that shot, knowing that Jofra, all going well with his fitness, of course, he's going to get another crack at you.
Oh, he'll get a couple more cracks at me, no doubt. I spoke about that a couple of days ago on the radio. I said accidental. Actually, I didn't mean to hit it sort of that straight. And I was like pretty calm about things, as JB said. I was like sort of just going through just like trying to keep a lid on things, and Marnus come flying down, and he was like, I know you're trying to act cool here, but that is out of his head. Like, he was just like, he was yelling and screaming, and I said, like, yeah, these blokes bowl 150, mate. Get the hell up the other end, because at any stage he's going to try and put a hole through me, and I know that. Everyone knows that. His bowling bounces at me. Like, it doesn't take much to rev Jofra up. I played at Sussex with him. Like, it doesn't take a hell of a lot for him to get fired up, and flat batting back over his head wasn't probably not the option. And I do the same thing at training, is that you do not smack Starkey, and you do not smack Hoff, and you do not smack Camo. You leave it at all options, you block it, you tell them it's swinging, you tell them how good they're bowling, and you try and get out there with all your fingers. And I think it was a bit like that. It's like, don't poke the bear, because, and I think that's a bit like that. I try and go under the radar and try and go about my work, but I know how brutal those blokes can be. So, not my finest moment, but also in the series, in context of things, just don't rev him up.
Heady, take us into the dressing rooms this week. You've been in the ones that were winning change rooms. What does this week look like? You're going to have some new personnel. Wood is out. You'd probably think Tongue would be an obvious replacement. What's your preps like?
Yeah, prep's good. We got another header. We got our main session tonight under lights. So face bowlers and bat v ball, where the last 2 nights have been optional. So we've had one night session, one day session. So I've faced a little bit of the net bowlers, a little bit of the sidearm, do my prep. I guess this week is getting used to the pink ball as much as you possibly can. So I'll probably train each of the days like I did in the Perth, just because I want that rhythm. But for me, it was, I don't normally bat heaps against bowlers in there to snap, but trying to just see the ball, feel the ball. In terms of them, no Wood. Look, you just prepare for all options. Is it Potts? Is it Tongue? Is it Jacks? Is it Bashir? Are they going to play a spin? Are they going to go quicks? So you just, look, from my side of things, we plan and prepare well. We've got a batting meeting shortly, the Savo, which we'll go through some stuff. But again, you're just trying to work out what you're going to do against them, and you just worry about how you're going to play and prepare the best way and go in fresh. And wicket looks good. Again, I like the pace of this wicket. I've had some really good weeks. I've had some poor weeks. That can happen in the game. So big crowd, big moments, night time. So get the sleep right and then enjoy the week, really.
So, Heady, while Doss is taking us into the sheds, I just want to head back to Perth for a second. Kez has the song. For everyone who hasn't been involved, and you three boys have, explain how that works. You're sitting in the rooms. You've had an all-time test match victory. Does he just feel it and go, right, now's the time? Do you boys sort of give it the Keza, come on, mate, we're feeling that now's about right? Who runs that? How does that work, the singing of the famous song?
Mixture of everything. Gaz was very strong on, if you mentioned it, it was another hour added on. So Kez is a little bit different. I think just pick up the moments. And I did joke with Kez at one stage, because our rooms are backed onto the West Coast rooms. And I joked with him and said, like, there hasn't been many songs sung in that shed in the last couple of years. Sorry to all the West Coast fans, but we went in, we poked our head in there, and there was couches and shit everywhere. So we didn't go in there, but we did joke around this, and because we got a couple of West Coast supporters in our staff, so that was a good little gag. But just filled the moment, and then he's done a great job since he's taken over from Gaz, and Gaz isn't as nervous anymore after a win, so that's good. He just settles down, which is nice, and can enjoy himself. And Kez does a really good job, and can't give you too many details, but he's good fun.
Out on the ground or in the rooms?
No, just in the sheds. It was it was like the whole night and that whole day. I guess it was pretty low key. It was nothing sort of over the top. It was just it's done really nicely. Like I said, he's moved into the role pretty well. He's few gags and a few different things and good fun. And a special moment, obviously Doggy and Weather's first crack at it. So it was a special little time for the boys.
Hey, Heady, if you had to keep your manager at arm's length because you do things like you did in Perth, some good things start coming your way. The managers get very, very excited about their 20%. Have you just had to say, mate, let's just get this series out of the way first?
He wouldn't mind potting me, but as you know, my manager he's impossible to get hold of. But he did answer the phone a fair few times this week, which is
Yeah,
good.
okay.
So he was quick.
Breakthrough.
It only rang once or twice, and he was answering it, so it's good. In his good books. No, I don't. Well, I don't know. I've sold the soul this summer. I've been on a few different things this summer already. I don't think I've got too much more on my schedule at the minute. I'll turn in the camo if I keep it up. So you say it's good. I've learned from the best.
I've had a couple of stinking endorsements over the years. One of my worst is easily the Head and Shoulders. Now, the anti-dandruff, and it was a sort of half-nude shot. Have you had a stinking shoot?
I wouldn't say stinking, but obviously, yeah, as you know, with the IPL, I did the Uber Moto ads this year with the IPL, so went full Bollywood, which is Davey Warner was huge, obviously massive in Hyderabad. He still is huge, and he's so Bollywood. But now being a Hyderabad, sort of taking his place. So they've stuck me in a few of those ads, which is good fun, but well out of my comfort zone and very much going to haunt me in the future. So don't worry, there'll be worse ones to come. Like I said, we've got a few blokes in the team that endorse some things. Kez and Cummo have had some stinkers over the years as well, so don't worry, I'll go under the radar.
Hey, Heady, we had Ian Healy on a couple of weeks ago, and Big Dos quite rightly congratulated him on how passionate a bull he was during his playing time and how much he drove back into Queensland cricket. One of the things as a former Redback Bluey that I have always loved about Kez and Heady is how committed they are to South Australian cricket. And, mate, it's such a beautiful thing to watch. The Test players can often, for good reason, not make themselves available or not be around the place much, but you two are so passionate about driving South Australian cricket. And as a past player, mate, I love seeing it.
Yeah, it's good. Kez has probably played a little bit more than me in the last couple of years, which is it's not by choice with a few things I've been lucky enough to do in the career with IPL and a few different things. But what he was able to do last year, don't worry, it gives me I'm pretty jealous about it, to win a Shield, and I know I've been some great moments for Australia, and we've won some amazing trophies. But yeah, that Shield was quite cool last year, and I know I changed my schedule a little bit around a couple of weeks ago to play a Shield game in Tassie. Played a tough week with the bat, but I literally had sore cheeks. Like, I could not have had a better week with the boys. Like, I loved it. It was so much fun. We got such a good group, and I did joke about potentially, like, really when I'm done, potentially playing a couple more years or a year in Shield cricket, which I'm probably looking 12 months ago or 2 years ago with the way my schedule looks, is I probably, once I'm done with Red Bull, I'm done. But each time I go back, whether it be last year, first game of the season, or going back before Tassie this year, I just loved my time. And so it would be hard not to, in the future, play more and more and more, because Rhino's got a good thing going. I'd love to win a Shield at some stage, or put myself in a position where I potentially can contribute in more than what I am now. But those times will come. But yeah, the one thing is that they welcome me so well, like coming back, and I love being around, but they also give me the space to be able to, at the moment, be the best international cricketer that I possibly can be. So I'm very thankful for that. We put some hard yards in over the last 10 or 12 years down there, and last year was incredible what they were able to achieve, and hopefully they get on a bit of roll this year and find themselves back in at the pointy end of the season, because I think they've got a hell of a squad. So good fun.
Hey, need to let you go, mate. I know you're very busy, but just before we started this recording, I had a call from, Bluey's and yours and my good mate Wade Ormsby, the dirty little mode one, and he said to ask Heady firstly how he went at Royal Queensland, and secondly he said pass on to him, that's some of the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. So it's not just us cricketers that loved what you did in Perth. It's become a global thing, and so it bloody should. But tell us about your golf. How did you go after the PGA up there?
I asked him how many I'd shoot, because obviously it was set up Sunday pins, back tees. He said 110, which is, I thought, hugely disrespectful. I had an 89 or 89 I think, and I could not have played any better. Some of those holes are impossible. But I did laugh with him. I think the 17th was a party hole for the week with all the stands and everything. It was a tucked-in pin. I hit a 54-degree wedge that was all over the flagstick. It ricocheted off the bar behind and went to about 6 foot, which I made the putt for 2. I did message him and said that's the easiest hole ever. What he didn't know, it went 20 feet up into the stand and bounced back. So it was good fun. It was good fun mixing it. That's the first time I played a course set up like that. Those blokes are absolute freaks. So yeah, he's playing well, which is good. He's only got Melbourne this week, so everyone's watching his scores and he's playing well. But yeah, I wasn't happy with the 110. Filthy about that.
Bluey, Don Pike, who's now the CEO of the West Coast Eagles, and I, Dos, took on Bluey and Heady a few years back at Kooyonga. I had 18 Stableford points for 18 holes. And I think, Bluey, we had to take the hats off at about the 13th green.
Yeah, well, Heady, I don't know. Do you play very well around Cooey? It's a bit tougher than Royal Adelaide.
Well, I got new clubs. I got Callaway clubs last week. And
there you go.
I'm spanking them. I would not be playing better. And I got driver back, which I'm always a 4-iron or a driving iron. I play golf a lot differently than cricket. Cricket, I try and spank as hard as I can. Golf, I just don't want to lose. Don't want to lose balls and don't want to look for balls. But driver's back, and I got the Blitz Golf coming up in January, Blue, which I know you're probably out of it now.
I was going to play that. I was going to play the Vic PGA. I was going to play all sorts of golf. I'm out.
I think I might be clubhouse leader. I'm saying I'm not going to shake that thing up against the pros. I look forward to it.
Heady, tell me about Bluey. For Dos and I, there's no greater act of stupidity in your 50s than to think you can still play cricket. Yeah. And now he's gone and blown his Achilles up. Just talk us through that.
We might have warned him as well.
I don't want to say too much because I don't know where I don't think I certainly probably won't be at 50 playing cricket. I was committing that whole tip. I just don't I can't believe he's put his golf at risk like that. There's some important things in life, and I think we're going to look back at this and it's going to be a turning point in his golf. I reckon it's going to go absolute piss over the next 12 months now, and I don't see him coming back from it, unfortunately.
You better be wrong, mate. You better be wrong.
Well, mate, you've given up, as I said, so much of your time. We really appreciate that. You've got really important business to do. We wish you well with that. But, mate, on behalf of the two other boys, we said it, boys, didn't we, afterwards? We had a good drink back at Crown, and we all looked at each other and said, there are times in your life where you just think, what have I just witnessed? Yeah. And, Heady, that was one of them. It was all time. And I hope in 5 or 6 years' time when you do hang the boots up, you can look back on that and think that was pretty bloody special, because that's certainly what we thought.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys. It's good fun.
Go and have a ball, mate. Look forward to seeing you up at the Gabba.
Look forward to the week. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Right.
Enjoy it, mate.
You can hang up, mate, you bloody superstar. Love that.
Thanks, boys.
Love that. And,
go get him, Heady.
Go get him.
Cheers, boys.
Thanks for your time, mate.
Cheers, mate.
So, all over Bar the Cricket, by the way, you know how to access it. You get it on wherever you listen to your podcast, but also Instagram. You'll see the clips. Make sure you follow us on there. And YouTube, watch it, but also subscribe to that station. Before we let both of you go, one of the great boys, isn't he?
Great.
He's just exactly as you saw him there is what you see when you see him at the ground on a golf course, Bluey. He's just an all-time bloke.
No, he's a ripper. He's a boy from, close to Gawler here in Adelaide, which is probably about 45 minutes from the city. Just a down-to-earth bloke. He's very hard to get a word in when you're with him. He likes talking over you, and then it's hard, really hard. He just friggin' talks for
Especially
Australia.
When he's had a couple of personality tablets.
I saw Stephen Smith the day after, and he was headed home. I said, "How was last night?" And he said, "Yeah, pretty quiet, but you should ask Heady." So I think he was might have been talking
dumbing
it
it
down
bit, big time.
No, he's a ripper.
I was going to ask him whether or not he could confirm whether JB spent any time at all with them, because remember he woke up the next day, he sounded like a thousand dragonflies that just buzzed around his throat.
No, he was with Lord Botham, and who else were you with?
Well,
Lily, drinking red wine. I know what your voice gets like.
Yes, we all know it.
The next day after we'd done our show, that
you
wasn't
can't bullshit us, Blue.
I was with my wife. I tell you what I did do, just while we're talking crap. I tell you what I did do, and it was a great and rare treat at the Lord's 70th, was ran into Rodney Hogg.
Oh, Hogg.
I had not seen Hoggy for
Moved to the west.
15 years, and we had a great chat. Yeah, he lives in Perth.
Oh, he lives in Perth.
Lives in Perth, and mate, what a great fella! I always knew he was a great fella. Sometimes you get a rare treat don't you? Big
Yeah,
Dawson.
yeah.
It was good to run into Hoggy.
Yeah, and the Fott was there as well. You actually had a
70th, of course.
yeah. Was Lammy there as well? I think Lammy might have made
good.
an appearance as
Lammy
well.
was there. Yeah, good.
Like he's having a hell of a time out here. He's been with me the last week. I tell you what, my cellar is looking very, very depleted. But I did make him one bet ahead of the second test, and that was that if they lost the test, he'd have to mow my backyard. But, of course, he didn't know how big my backyard is, so he's been out on the push mower in about 500 degrees in Brizzy. So it's called singing for your supper.
I like it. I'll tell you who else was there, Bluey, who I got to know a bit in that 2001 summer when we spent some time together. I was over doing that test series, and we used Sky's facilities. So everywhere we went, the Sky boys were doing their stuff. And I got to know David Gower a bit, and he was there. I had a good chat to him. I haven't seen, outside of maybe Damien Martin, a bloke make batting look easier than that bloke did. What a freak.
Yep. No, he just beautiful hands, and you're right. The game slowed down for him, and talk about the Sky blokes. I was very lucky to start my commentary career with Sky over there. So with Bumble, Lord, both them, Gower, all
Mikey
these sort
Holding.
of. Yeah, all those guys. Mikey Holding didn't watch any cricket in between commentary stints. He was on the punt, but bloody good days and great lads.
All right, I'm going to let you two go. Make sure, as I said, podcast wherever you listen, but also YouTube. And when you get to YouTube, make sure you subscribe. What a treat. Travis Head will be back shortly.